everyone. Welcome to the Woolly Wonka Fibers podcast. My name is Anne, and today is Monday, November 7th, the day before Election Day. We have a visitor this morning, my helper kitty, Emma. This is a podcast about my indie dye and design work, my shop, my knitting, my spinning, a little bit of other stitchy goodness. I think that's about it. I hope you all are doing well. If you have not gone out and vote, please make sure that you do that tomorrow. I have no opinions one way or the other about who you should vote for, but you should vote. It's a really important thing to do, and I know from a lot of the Facebook and Instagram posts that folks have taken advantage of the early voting. I have. I actually voted last week, so I have done that, and honestly, I'm really ready for all of the political campaign ads to be done and over, and for us not to have to watch any more of those. Yeah, I'm pretty well sick of it. At this point, I almost don't even care who wins. I just want the ads to go away. So anyway, tomorrow is election day here in the United States. It's finally kind of trying to be fall here. We had some cooler weather. We had a rainy weekend, which doesn't happen very often for us. Normally here in the mountains, if we get rain, it's the kind of thing where it's sunny, the clouds build, it rains, and then the clouds go away and it's sunny again. But we actually had rain off and on Friday into Saturday. More on Saturday, a couple of passing sprinkles on Sunday with clouds and cooler temperatures. It's been great. We built a fire the other night just to take the chill off down here in the finished kind of walkout basement area that we have down here. So that was really nice because it was nice to sit and knit and sit in front of the fire and kind of, I don't know, for me, that kind of helps me feel like we're kicking off fall. And it's about time, right? Because it's November. Today is November 7th. So yeah, about time. I wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who came out for the trunk show or who attended my class at the yarn store at Nob Hill this past weekend. I greatly appreciated that folks came out to support the filament fall issue. Thank you if you picked up a copy. I really appreciate that as well. If you are looking to take another class with me, I will be teaching a beginning lace knitting class at Yarn and Coffee in Santa Fe, which is off Cerrillos Road. It's not too far from St. Francis Drive, but it's a great little yarn store. Deborah has a really nice selection. So I will be there not this Saturday, next Saturday, the 19th. From I believe it's 12 to 2, but I'll put a link in the show notes to the shop. And so if you're interested in learning some lace knitting techniques or just brushing up on your skills if you're a little bit rusty, that's a great class to take. It's just a couple of hours. The class comes with obviously instruction. That's helpful, right? But it also comes with enough yarn and a pattern to knit a small lace cowl. So it's a DK weight piece if you are thinking, I should get started on maybe some Christmas gifts or holiday gifts. If you take the class, you'll have a thing to make, and then you'll be ready for that particular gift box item. Just saying. So let's see what else. Oh, I wanted to talk to you guys about a piece. I actually have this has been out for, I think it's been a couple of weeks now, but it's in the new Knit Wear magazine from Interweave / F&W Media. And one of the sections is the one on Japanese aesthetics. And it's a great collection of knitted items. I love it. And this is my contribution, the Poro cardigan. It's a really basic cardigan, but it has some little interesting details. The sleeve cuffs, you can see this one just right there, are knit with a really deep ribbing. And then they have little cufflinks, attached cufflinks. It's got a long shawl collar that's ribbed, just a little bit of contrast. Set in sleeves so it's nice and tailored, and a little bit of an A-line shape to it. They did not photograph the pattern with an included kind of obi style belt, but my concept for that particular garment was styled after the geisha kimonos with the kind of wide neckline. It has a very shallow V neckline, so that shawl collar stands up here, and in the contrast color is really nice. I love that they did it in charcoal and black. Can't wait to get the sample back because I will be wearing it. So a lot of other very, very fun patterns to knit in here. There are this one actually, get to a bigger picture of it so you guys can see it. This little cardigan or little vest by Cindy Newhouse I think would be a great stash busting project. I really like that one, and I may wind up knitting that for myself. And then, you know, there's other projects, big kind of shawl slash scarf wrap, and then this pretty capelet. And so those are all in the Japanese aesthetics portion of it. And then the kind of front story is on street style. And so it's a whole bunch of kind of Euro gray black minimalist pieces. This is a great cowl. It's the Firehouse Alley cowl by Benny Senot. I don't know why I'm having trouble saying that, but I love that. That is in a fingering weight. I actually own that yarn. Might have to knit that one. And some other garments in that collection too. This one's kind of fun. It's Linden Street Pullover by Kefren Pritchett. And it's a really plain raglan shape layering piece. The stripe part is a t-shirt, but this is the sweater. And then it's got this fun little add-on kind of ruffled detail at the hem. That would be really fun in a handspun, I think. Fingering weight held double. So there you go. Just saying. So a great issue. I think lots of fun patterns in it. I really like the editor for this is also the current editor for Interweave Knits. So if you have not picked yourself up a copy, you can think about doing that. It's the Fall Winter 2016 issue. So kind of fun. So I will show you guys the actual piece for the Perot cardigan that I knit when it arrives back from the offices for Interweave. It's usually a couple of months before I get stuff back. Okay, so on to what I'm working on and is on the needles. I finished the pink fluffy cardigan. That is gone. I'm currently working on a pair of colorwork mittens. I should have the first one of the pair done, and then I can just knit up the second pair. Sorry if you guys hear that. I've got the dogs inside today, and my older dog assumes because I'm talking to her, so she's standing right here, getting up, laying down, getting up, laying down. Attentive audience. So I'm working on a pair of colorwork mittens. My plan is to try to have those finished up by the end of this coming weekend. So get that sample done and off the needles. I also cast on for a pair of socks that will be in the spring issue of Filament magazine, so can't show you either of those. I'm not super far along in the socks. I have the toe done, so you know, not much to show even if I could. The other project I'm working on is the first of the pairs of socks for my nephews, and these are the pair I'm knitting for my younger nephew, Charlie. This is the first of the two socks. This is obviously finished. The yarn is from Mint Rain Yarns on Etsy, and then I did a contrast toe and heel out of this. It's the same base that she uses, but it's my Rhiannon sock out of just the colorway is called Soot. It's a charcoal gray. And then this is the Gryffindor self-striping colorway. So I have sock 1 completely done, and I am ready to put the heel in on sock 2. So I will for sure get these finished up this week. These are kind of my just knit for an hour in the evenings while I'm hanging out with my husband after dinner. You know, there's nothing special about them. They are a 2x2 rib here at the cuff. I'm doing 60 stitches for the leg on US size 1 point, what am I saying? They're ones. They're 2.25 millimeters. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. It's got a fish lips kiss heel that I've added in, and kind of my usual boxy toe with decreases. So, like I said, nothing crazy. Nothing's like out of control. These are just basic plain vanilla socks, but they're fun, and they're Harry Potter themed. So I know Charlie will love them. So the goal is to get this second sock finished up, so this pair is done, and then I can start the next pair of gift socks, which will be going to my nephew Will. Slightly different theme, but more self-striping because they're fun, they're quick, kind of hard to beat that. So that is all I have on the needles right now. My hope was to get a couple of small things finished, kind of feel like I was making some progress. I have a colorwork sweater that I need to design that needs to go on the needles next. And I know that's more of a, intensive project, so I was trying to do at least a few small things and feel like I was making progress. Next up, I have finally, after I think it's been like 6 weeks, feels like ages, finished my spin. This is Hilltop Clouds Time Travelers Club from last May, I believe it was. It was either May or June. It's in the Tyrian purple colorway. The fiber is an 80-20 merino bamboo blend. It's a custom blended roving. So total here, my 2 skeins of about just under 8 ounces came out to about 850 yards. It's a 2-ply fingering weight. I love, 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 love how this came out. That is pretty close on the color. It's a really dark cranberry with little tiny flecks of purple and kind of a brighter, let's see if we can get the camera to focus. Yeah, you can see that little fleck right there, kind of a brighter fuchsia color of the bamboo. Gorgeous drape, just really soft, really pretty. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with this yet. I have just not quite enough yards for the featherweight cardi, but fingering weight, I'm thinking maybe a vest, and it might actually work really well with that asymmetrical vest I just showed you guys in the knitwear pattern book. Let me pull that out again, just show that. Here we go. So I could totally see this knit up in that. I mean, it's really, really simple pattern, so it would totally let the fiber in that handspun sing. It's fingering weight. Might be a winner, just saying. And I find that I have been wearing a lot of vests this year. I love to have layering pieces. So that may be what this is slated for. But 8 more ounces out of the Spin the Bin project. Next up, which I have prepped but I have not started spinning yet, is the merino silk blend that I showed you guys last week from Funky Carolina that's called Little Fall. So that'll go on the wheel this week. Just trying to get through the last, I think I have 1 pound left in my Spin the Bin project, and then that is done. I did want to toss out there, I wonder how many of you might be interested for 2017 in doing a Spin from Stash challenge or project. You could pick as much or as little as you wanted to spin up. And if you wanted to do that, I'll be glad to set up a thread in the group, because I think that's what I'm going to try to do next year. With the caveat that if you are signed up for a club by the beginning of the year, by January 1st, 2017, then the club purchases wouldn't count. They could be included as stash, even though, you know, technically they'll be rolling into your stash over the course of the year. But I think I'd like to do that. I only have one club that I'm participating in next year, and that's my, well, let me take that back. One club other than the Willy Wonka Fibers Club that I would be participating in next year, and that's my friend Lori at Ocean Wind Knits, her fiber club that she'll have next year. That's the only subscription I have, so I'm going to try really hard not to buy anything except, I mean, those two clubs are my only incoming items, and so I really do want to make a dent in stash, and I have a couple ideas about how I want to tackle some of the rather prodigious fiber stash, but I'll save that and talk about that at kind of the closer to the end of the year when we're making resolutions and getting ready to do new things for 2017. So like I said, I have about a pound left to finish up the 2016 Spin the Bin project, and so I've got not quite 2 months to finish that up. That's my plan. If I can do one braid every 2 weeks, I should be able to get that done. So y'all have to make me accountable, cheer me on. So I think that's about it for spinning. I'm super, super happy with this. I love the color. The yarn just came out so great. I'm really, really pleased with it. So just have to decide what it's going to be in its next life. Okay, so knitting and spinning. The last little bit that I have to cover today, nothing major. Sorry, let me grab some tea here real quick. I have been working on this Christmas ornament from Little House Needleworks called Frosty Flakes. And I am almost finished with it. I have a little bit left to do on the bird right there. I have a beak and his little legs. I have to finish the back stitching here and here on the scarf, which won't take me very long. And then you can see there's some space left there for beads for the eyes on the snowman, and he also has the row of buttons right there. The little bird at the top also gets a bead for the eye. But otherwise that's finished. So I think this weekend, because my husband's going to be out of town, let's see, he leaves early Friday and he'll be back Tuesday, I think. I thought I would take one of the weekend days and not work and do a little finishing party, assuming I get this finished, which I should. I mean, there's probably not even half an hour worth of work left to do on this. It's just I got to dig the beads out to apply those. But once I do that, then I could have this completely finished up, and then I could finish the 3 ornaments that I have that are going to go for gift boxes to various and sundry folks. And that way then those would be completely done and I get them all done at once. I ordered some little ribbon trim to use for the hangers at the top and to make little bows. So those are here. There's no reason why I couldn't finish these up. So I think that's going to be my plan for the weekend for kind of stitchy type stuff. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes, but I'd like to get those finished and kind of start preparing the gift boxes to go out. I don't do well last minute with things, so I kind of like to have stuff done up front and then pay slow boat shipping as opposed to, you know, overnighting stuff on Christmas Eve kind of delivery. So yeah, all that will be good. And it's hard to believe. I mean, we're just over 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving already. This year has completely flown by. So anyway, I digress. Um, I will try to link in the show notes everything that I have talked about today. If I missed anything, you guys can give me a poke on the Ravelry group or send me a PM. If there's any questions that you have about any of the stuff I'm working on or upcoming shop things, please also feel free to leave me a comment. I'm always happy to do a little Q&A kind of discussion. Oh, and I did want to mention, I had a question about the sweater club in the shop. If you watched my video last week, I talked about all of the specifics of things that were going on in the club. So if you're interested in the sweater club, the answer is both of the sweaters are cardigan type garments. They're not pullovers. One is a little bit more kind of moving towards almost a jacket, I would consider it, because it's going to be a little bit boxier than a sort of trim fitting cardigan, but they do both have front closures. So if you were wondering about that, thank you, Susan, for asking that question, because I know there were several other folks who were like, oh, that's good to know. So thank you for asking so that I could tell folks that. So that is the case with the Sweater Club. Again, the clubs are open in the shop through the end of December-ish. Yeah, so I think that's about it. Thank you guys for tuning in again this week. If you are looking for me on the web, the shop can be found at www.woollyWonkaFiber.com. I have a Ravelry group under Woolly Wonka Fibers, as well as a Facebook and an Instagram account under the same name. You can find my personal pages on Ravelry under Bunny Spinner. It's BUNNYSPINNER. And as always, thank you guys for tuning in. If you're a new listener, I hope that you enjoyed this podcast. And if you're a returning viewer, as always, thank you so much for your support. I always appreciate my subscribers and folks who want to tune in and just listen to me chat a little bit about what's going on in my crafty world at this end of things. So until I talk to you guys again next week, I hope you have a wonderful crafty week, some time to spend with family and friends, and a good week overall. Take care, guys. Talk to you then.